welcome back to another episode of Guy Party. This is Beautiful Brad.
It's Chester.
And Michael Benjamin.
So, you guys just heard, we got the old MB back. It's been a minute. How you been, MB?
Well, I've been pretty fucking fantastic. You know how it is. I mean, if you're not being fantastic, then you might as well kill yourself. But don't do that, Don't do that.
Either life is going great or it's not going at all.
You want to drop to the Booze Heads your new segment that's coming out on the Guy Party channel?
Yeah, definitely. If you guys aren't tuning in to Guy Party at this point, then, like I said, kill yourself. But for real, don't kill yourself. And tune in because we're going to be doing an extra little tidbit with me, 5 minutes with Michael Benjamin, and it should be anywhere between just different questions that I answer and different things that may try to, fuck me up and trigger me to go crazy, or just me telling some jokes that may be also kind of hilarious. You never know what's going to happen.
So, Booze Heads, you just heard it. If you want to trigger Michael Benjamin, be sure to send in some questions.
Yeah, send in questions. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what it is. Just send in whatever you think may be a great question.
Dick size, fucking blackface, anything.
How much I recycle? Any of that. Or how much you think I think you recycle.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
But no, definitely tune in and bring some questions. Send us anything, especially if you want to get on with us in our secret skits we're going to be doing on our Patreon.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll come soon. But yeah, just shoot it at guypartypod@gmail.com or hit us up on Facebook. Just send us some questions for 5 minutes with Michael Benjamin. Shit is woke as fuck. So anyway, Chester, you just drove to Michigan, eh?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that one a little bit?
Was that A on purpose, or were you just trying to be more Canadian?
I was just asking. I mean, we were talking about...
No, but you said, hey, A. Yeah, you've been to Michigan, A. Because they say A like that.
No, I was thinking about, the new rap videos where hey.
I just feel like it was so perfect because Michigan and Canada are so close to each other.
So, tell the Booze Heads why you made the trip to Michigan, if you're inclined to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, weed,
yeah.
Also known as cannabis, the ganja, and sometimes known as flower.
I spent 8 hours in the car today to go buy $300 worth of weed.
Did you stop anywhere? Did you make it worth your while, or were you just on a direct mission to get weed?
Direct mission. I obviously stopped at the weed store.
Yeah.
And then I stopped to get gas, and those were the only stops.
You didn't stop at, a restaurant? I know that's kind of your thing.
I know, and I wanted to. I was thinking about it, but the place I ended up going to was out in the fucking sticks, and
they had the best weed.
My phone wasn't even working. I couldn't find GPS signal. I was gonna look up restaurants around the area, but yeah, I couldn't get signal, so I just said fuck it and went home.
Really?
Wait,
so they have a dispensary in the sticks?
And you went by yourself?
Yeah.
God damn it! Even more reason you should have called my ass, man.
Chester's a traveler, dude.
I know, I am too, though. I love doing that shit, man.
With your more settled life, was this a nice break?
It was a fucking nice break, yes.
I kind of was figuring that, a nice... Because, I mean, as long as I've known you, you would pick up... You never really needed anybody. I mean, you would ask people to come, but you would do traveling on your own.
I would, and I did just this past weekend also do some traveling, but with the family.
That's true.
So this was...
How was that, yeah?
Oh, fucking shit show. Oh, my God.
So all those pictures of the happy times then don't really make what is
So when you're on Guy Party and use the F word, family, of course it's going to be a shit show.
I will tell you that most of that trip was alright, but there was just moments that were retarded. Full-blown retarded. First of all, we drove up with the two kids, Marie and the two kids, and also Marie's mom. So Marie's mom was crammed into my backseat with those two kids who are big children. And
American children.
Right, they're American.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Let's classify, alright, let's not get canceled.
It's okay. We can. That is perfect. We can call them American children now.
American children. See, Guy Party's getting woke.
I like it. So, yeah, they were just complaining a lot. Not really as much on the way up. No, they were being annoying on the way down too. But the way,
every aspect of their voices now I can remember.
Oh god, it was bad. They started this thing it's how sometimes when kids know they're pissing you off, annoying you, they just keep doing that same thing just because they think it's funny.
Wait a second, hold on though. I thought that the day and age of kids being annoying to parents is gone because they have their own devices. What happened to that?
They were in a fucking car for 4 hours.
Yeah, but you don't give them their devices to shut them up and.
Oh yeah, I did, but I think we were out in the mountains to where they couldn't even get signal. So
It's not like in your day and age where your parents could give you a lollipop and you'd be fine.
Look, you don't know how long it takes me to get to the center of a lollipop or a Tootsie Roll.
did you even ride in the back seat, or did they throw you in the trunk?
I was always the navigator. Don't you remember me telling you about this?
Like,
they
Michael
used
on the
me
luggage
in my
has to go in the
skill set. My skill set was like they wouldn't let me drive because it was illegal for some reason, but my navigation skills were better than everybody's.
But yeah, it was fun though. Like the first day we got there, I mean the drive sucked, and nobody wanted to do anything. It's not like it was even a terribly long drive, but
It was like 4 hours.
yeah, like 4.5, something like that. But nobody even wanted to go out to dinner. We ended up, like, somebody went out to a grocery store and brought back some frozen pizzas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really retarded. And then the second day, we did go to Gatlinburg. So we went up there with her mom and the kids, and then we met her cousin and her kids and her mom up there. So we all were staying in this big cabin.
This already sounds like too much family.
Yeah.
Believe me. But anyways,
Oh, we love family though.
we got to Gatlinburg, and Gatlinburg itself is a shit show. Like, I don't know if have you been?
I think I've been.
Well,
through.
it's all burned down, isn't it?
A lot of it did burn down, but I mean,
Is
the
that
actual.
probably a good thing?
All these years, everyone's been waiting for Gatlinburg to burn down.
But there's like a strip, which is like in a lot of ways like the Vegas Strip, where you have like people walking on sidewalks,
Prostitutes and not such.
yeah, prostitutes and like hooker trading cards on the ground.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, Nashville, I went with you guys to see Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Vegas.
Yeah, it kind of in the same vein there, but with more family stuff and a lot, like 10 times more people.
Gotcha.
It just so crowded, and everything was a fucking line, like line. It reminded me of like a day at Kings Island. Like everything you did, you had to wait an hour.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I hate the worst in life is lines. If I can skip ahead of anybody, I don't care if I'm cutting them off. I'll fucking do it, and they'll fucking live with it. Goddammit!
I can see you like faking a handicap.
Oh yeah.
Fake?
I would dress up as an old lady, and I will get by. No questions asked. And I'm like, oh, sorry,
You just have to say
ma'am.
in your normal voice, "I would like to go to the front of the line." And they would let you.
And I just wore the dress and the wig for just fun. Shits and gigs, I say. Shits and gigs. Yes, that's right. I'm fucking abbreviating giggles.
The other thing that was a mess down there was parking. They only have so many parking lots and garages and stuff, and almost all of them were full. And after about a couple of like loops, we finally found one. But her cousin was driving separately, and she was having the same problem, except she didn't give it enough time to find a spot. She just wigged out and said, "Nah, I'm not going to do this."
Really?
And yeah, they ended up going back to Pigeon Forge, so we didn't even hang out with them that day. And I will say that
A blessing in disguise, right?
sort of.
Don't get a spoiler.
The real shit show of this comes later.
Oh, yeah.
But we did have fun that day. Like, we went up on this sky lift thing. It was like a ski lift that went up to the top of the hill, like this really tall hill, and you went over this bridge that had like glass on the bottom, and so you could see through it. It was
Hell
really
yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go across the bridge that I could possibly think I'll go through one of these days.
Right, yeah. But it was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. But it was like we did that, and then we got dinner, and then by that point, okay, so here's where it starts to go south. To get into the cabin, I got a code from the place I rented it from, right? And there's like a thing, like a numerical code I plug in, and a little lockbox opens up, and there's an actual key in there that unlocks the door, like a regular key. Mm-hmm. Well, when I got there the first day, I took the key out, unlocked the door, and then I put the key on my keychain.
Wait, was it one of those 5-key punch
Yes.
things, though?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's an inside joke that you don't know nothing about, but
So,
it's
so I put the key on my keychain.
whoever knows that joke, if you're listening, laugh.
Anyways, so the key looks exactly like my house key, right?
Oh, God.
So after I put it on my key ring, I find out, like, just a few minutes later, we were reading over the instructions, and it's like, keep the key in the lock. You have to keep the key in the lock in case, like, maintenance needs to get in or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. That makes sense. And I put the key back in the lock, and...
It was your house key.
It was my house key.
Spoiler.
Oh, shit!
So, which is fine, except that the other group got back first. We were still out, and they got back, and so I get a call from them, we can't unlock the door, and I'm like, no, you just gotta jiggle it.
This is the ultimate fucking Chester prank, and I love it.
Right. And then I start to think about it like, oh, maybe I did put my house key in there. Whoops. Oops. So, but we were out to dinner, and we were like still like 45 minutes away from our cabin. So I just called maintenance, and I'm like, they're locked out. Can you go get them, right? And apparently it was all of about 25 minutes later that maintenance showed up, got them into the door, and everything was fine. Or so I thought.
Jesus Christ.
So I'll get back to that later. So we get back, and a couple people that were staying with us, it was actually Marie's cousin's sister. Mm-hmm. So another of Marie's cousins was also there with her fiance. And they ended up leaving, and we're like, well, that's weird. They were supposed to stay with us both nights, but whatever. And then we started drinking again. We brought the weed with us, so we got high, got in the hot tub. It was cool, right?
Yeah.
I fucking played Pink Floyd and talked to the trees.
Mm-hmm.
It was dope. I had a good time.
Fucking A.
Right. And then the next day, we checked out. We had to check out that day. Her cousin, not the one that left the other cousin, but the cousin you know.
That stayed?
Yeah.
Okay.
With her kids and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They just left. So they didn't even, like, try to do anything else that day.
Like,
they just went straight home after we checked out the second day. We went back to Gatlinburg because we're like, we want to still do some shit. We came down here for a reason. We came down here to do shit.
Yeah.
So we went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, which was actually really neat. There's a lot of really neat stuff in there, like the penis sheath.
Yeah, that's where
that was.
Okay,
yeah.
Ripley's Believe It or Not is always a great fucking time.
Yeah,
it's basically a bunch of freak show shit in there.
Oh, yeah.
Booze Heads Guy Party, I know we told you guys about the cum paintings. That's going to be on our Etsy store. We will also have penis sheaths. So stay tuned for that. We'll let you guys know when those hit.
Yeah. And so what started the shit show that day, though, was that we had breakfast and then went to Ripley's. And Ripley's is like 3 floors, right? Mm-hmm. You start on the 3rd floor. Like, you take an elevator to the 3rd floor and you work your way down. While we were still on the fucking 3rd floor, Marie's youngest started complaining about his feet hurting because he had been walking too much.
Oh, God.
The
elevator.
I'm like, what? I expected this, but much, much later.
Yeah.
And so, like, the rest of the time we were at that place, bitching about his feet hurting. Bitch. So that was a shit show. And then, even though his feet were hurting, he still wanted to do other stuff. So we went to this, like, 5D motion theater thing, and waited in line for an hour for a 5D motion theater where it's like the seat moves back and forth, and you're wearing 3D glasses, and it sprays water at you.
Yeah.
It's neat, but the thing lasts 10 minutes.
Oh,
for the hour wait.
For the hour wait, right. We get out of that, and then we did one more thing. At that point, I guess maybe he had just been not walking enough to where he stopped bitching about his feet. But because he wanted to go through the Ripley's Haunted Adventure, Haunted Mansion. That was actually pretty neat. As far as haunted houses go, pretty impressive.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we left. Because at that point, Marie's mom is not in great shape, and she couldn't handle all that walking either. So she had been sitting on a bench for probably about 2 or 3 hours while we did all this shit.
Oh, she wasn't, like, waiting in line and shit?
No. She walked through the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, but after that she was, like, done.
Yeah.
And so that was it. We left, and we drove home. The drive home was a shit show because the kids were bitching. And then we went to Burger King, and everybody was complaining about what food they were going to get. And I don't know if you've ever ordered for fucking 5 people in a drive-thru when 2 of them being kids.
I roll solo, homeboy.
It fucking sucks.
And you're just reconfirming why I do. Good Lord.
Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
I've saved the absolute shit showiest for last.
Let's hear it.
So, you remember that I accidentally got people locked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And you probably booked this whole thing,
oh, I
too.
did.
So,
I absolutely did.
how much shit did you catch?
Oh, get this, right? So, Marie gets a text from her cousin, not the one that left early, but like the one that she's really close to, that's pretty much her best friend. Mm-hmm. A text that says that she has this awful feeling that we didn't trust them, and so we switched the key out on purpose.
Oh my God.
Yes. And that turned into just an absolute shit show. We're like, what the fuck do you mean you think we did that on purpose? I called maintenance and got you out of that in 20 minutes. Besides that, when we split up, Marie's youngest went with them. So we locked her kid out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it on purpose because he was complaining the whole time.
I mean, I would, but...
Oh, I know. That's why I said it.
No, I was playing. But no, it just turned into this whole fucking thing. And then the next day, like, there was like a group chat, and I said some shit that I probably shouldn't have.
That you probably should have.
And it wasn't even that
See, that's the thing, though, about group chats, is that you're usually drinking or you're high as fuck, and you say things you don't mean to say.
It wasn't even that. It was sarcasm. It was all just sarcasm. It
Yeah.
wasn't like,
Yeah.
fuck you or
That's
anything
all group
like
chat
that.
is supposed to be
It
sarcasm.
was sarcasm.
Come on, it's Chester. It's the nicest guy in the fucking world. I'm sure
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
sarcasm.
His sarcasm was like, hey, will you suck my dick?
do you still have it? Do you want to read it off for us?
I was just about to pull it up here.
Fuck yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Guy party, guy.
I love the shirt you're wearing.
Party.
It's a Tenacious D shirt, ladies. and
Don't you miss those?
gents.
When you got that shirt?
Hell yeah, concerts. All right. Yeah, so what triggered me to post this sarcasm is that Marie's closer cousin, the one she's best friends with, sent a screenshot of what her other cousin had said. I think her other cousin, the one that we don't really hang out with very much, is the one that really kind of kicked this whole thing into gear.
So did she ever come back, or did she just...
Oh, no, they left.
Like, completely went back to Cincinnati?
Yeah, so, like, once they got in, they packed their shit up and left. Because
Really?
they were that pissed that they
Wow.
thought that I'd done this thing on
you
purpose.
Didn't even
Serious?
didn't even like question to like maybe communicate with
No.
Marie.
Yeah, no. And
Dude,
then-
sorry for that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and
And this is supposed to be her best friend.
the ones that left aren't, but the one that messaged her about this
Oh.
is her best friend.
The one that left though still should have.
Right, the one that messaged her, and then like when Marie called her out on it, like, I can't believe you would even think that we would do that.
Yeah, for real.
Then she was all like, oh, well, I get anxiety and I have mental disorders, so like she blamed it all on that, and she never apologized. She just said that she has mental problems and that show, so we should excuse her.
I get that because
I feel like that-
but you
I
can
get that
still
too,
you
but
still need to like communicate. Just asking your cousin like, hey.
That's
There
the
was an issue
new
with
crutch. Like, oh, guess what? I'm a fucking lunatic, so excuse me for sending Brett Favre pictures, which I have used several times in my fucking...
Oh my god.
Yeah, but what triggered my sarcastic rant that you're about to hear was I got a screenshot of what the two cousins of Marie were saying to each other, and the one that left early was like, I know he switched those keys on purpose, and he needs to own up to it.
Chester,
Wow.
of all fucking people.
And he needs to own up to it.
Now
So-
I would probably do that, but Chester would probably stop me from doing
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
it. Right?
Chester's the nicest dude I've ever met.
So this is my sarcastic response. I said, sorry this whole thing has created so much drama. Time for me to own up to my mistake. I did intentionally switch the key.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. I can't wait to hear the rest of it.
I didn't want anyone getting there before us and possibly taking my whiskey. You just don't understand how hard it is to find a bottle of Eagle Rare, and I found one in a Tennessee liquor store of all places. Well, needless to say, I wasn't taking any chances.
Yes! I love it, I love
Jesus Christ.
I even had to consider that Liam was with you guys and that I would be locking out my stepson, but this whiskey is that rare and that good. Also, I had to consider that you would call me and that I would have to call maintenance and possibly incur a fee. But again, you just don't find Eagle Rare anywhere. Now that I've got that off my chest, I feel like that you should know the whole story.
Oh, shit! Did Marie get fucking pissed at you about
No,
that?
no.
Oh,
She was right there with me and she's
All right,
like,
cool.
do it.
Yeah.
I did call maintenance, but I wasn't about to let you near that sweet, sweet nectar of the gods. So I promised the maintenance man $50 to hide in the woods and watch you guys.
Dude, I love it.
Oh my god, this is the best.
Winnie Chester.
Totally worth it to keep my precious bottle of whiskey.
Yo, yeah.
I suppose my mistrust was misplaced because the bottle was still there and I was able to bring it home, but I am in talks with Patriot Getaways to acquire the security camera footage to ensure that it didn't get tampered with.
Fuck yes. I love it.
It probably doesn't need to be restated, but no amount of money or the safety of my stepchildren is more important than that whiskey. I really hope that you understand and we can put this behind us.
Dude, that was brilliant.
Fuck yeah.
Guy party.
Guy party.
No, they didn't.
Hey, but you know that all that matters is the fucking fiance was cool with it.
Right?
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking the whole time, like when you said that though, as you were like, yeah, she was right next door to me. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be in your feelings when you were like, you came up with it and you were like, you brought it to her. Like, what do you think?
Well, I did that at first, and then she was like, I don't know. But then she showed me that text, that screenshot of what the cousins were saying to each other.
And you're like, definitely, we have to.
It was something about the other cousin saying, like, he has to own it. I'm like, fuck
all right,
that.
fine. Then you want me to own it? I'll own it in the best way possible.
I fucking book all this shit. Did you even get money from half of it?
Oh, you want to hear some shit about that? Marie's closer cousin was supposed to come with her husband, but he didn't want to go. From the get-go, he didn't want to go.
The Gecko or the Geico?
From the Geico. Say 15%. Anyways. So yeah, he didn't want to go, so there was like a bed that had opened up because of this. The way the bed shook out, there was an extra bed. So that's when the other cousin got invited with her fiance. And the cousin that we're closer with was like, hey, I just asked my sister, and my sister said she's down to go, and she's going to give us $200. Right? And I'm like, cool. We would get 100 of that, and the other cousin would get 100 of that, right? Yeah. So it's an extra $100 for us. So I'm like, that's totally nice, cool, yeah. Right? And then when they get there, like, we're all partying and stuff the first night, and somebody brings up the money, I don't know who, but then, like, her cousin's, the other cousin that ended up leaving with her fiance, that dude, was like, what, $200? Apparently, she had never ran that by him.
$200 for a fucking weekend at Gatlinburg sounds like nothing. A deal to me.
Fuck yeah.
So here's what ended up happening, right? Remember I told you that first night that nobody wanted to go out to dinner, so they got frozen pizzas? Mm-hmm. It was them that got the frozen pizzas. And then the next morning, they went out to McDonald's and bought like 30 or 40 breakfast sandwiches or some shit like that. Like, they bought like a ton of breakfast food for everybody. They said they spent like $40 or $50 on it.
Oh, so they were like, they were even there.
They said they're even for the whole fucking thing.
What? So you don't pay a nightly stay?
Right.
Bitch, you ain't gay.
My sarcastic asshole attitude was waiting for them to come back and say something really shitty because I had one in the fucking chamber. After that whole thing, I was going to be like, well, if you're really feeling bad about it still, I'd be more than happy to reimburse you for what you paid by giving you more frozen pizzas at McDonald's. I'd be happy to reimburse you in McDonald's and fucking frozen pizza.
The champion of the world.
Dude, I know what it's like trying to plan trips and then people shit all over it. So that's why, like, anytime you fucking do it, dude, I'm like, don't you fucking worry about it. You plan it. I got the money.
Yeah.
Let's roll with it. I'm not going to fucking sit there all day. No, dude, you took the time out of your fucking day to plan this shit.
Getting the money ahead of time.
This fucking guy always floats.
I know, he does. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What did I say when you mentioned and you sent me the pics of the...
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm ready to give you my whatever I needed to give you.
I mean, shit, he's floating a Cleveland trip right now.
No.
I'm not going to fucking show up and buy you a fucking hamburger and be like, all right, we're cool.
Right?
You know?
Right? What the fuck is that?
As much as I am with money, or bad... as much as bad I am with money... I would never do that to you, too, though. No. I would always make sure that whatever the amount that we'd spoken upon, you're getting your shit, dude. That's
you
fucking
want to tell
bullshit.
me you've never tried to pay somebody in cheeseburgers?
No! I would give you primo trash. You would never get live food. That shit gets old. That shit gets really moldy.
See, Michael giving Primo trash, that's showing a sign of respect.
Right.
You wouldn't expect anything different from the man.
And
Yeah, but
I know that
for
you
those
guys...
cocksucking motherfuckers act like, oh, here's... Okay, McDonald's is trash. It's not equal to what trash I'd give you, but still, it's, yeah.
I know you guys know me, so you would never, like, suspect that I would do that on purpose.
Never. I've traveled with you, I don't know how many times.
But at the same time, even if you were with new people, would you really suspect that after you got in 25 minutes later?
Nah. Well, dude, the last Sky Party camping trip, we were at Hocking Hills. Me and my brother were sitting on the porch for like 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah. I had no problem with that, dude. Like, I was just
Or
like...
you guys had to wait on us getting back.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Who gives a fuck, you know?
Right.
Dude booked his shit. It's in his name. He's the one putting his name on the fucking line.
Yeah.
Right, it's my credit card and everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Sit there and
Fucking drink beer and
Yeah.
wait.
And dude, they were in a cabin. I'm sure they could have got to the hot tub or out back, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they had started a bonfire, and they were hanging out around a bonfire.
There you
Then
go.
what the fuck are you complaining about?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking stupid. And then it just evolved into this whole, like, group chat argument, and now Marie and her cousin are just fighting back and forth, and it's, I don't know, it makes me never want to fucking travel with them again.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And that's why I, like, give up on a lot of get-togethers. It's because, like, the more people you get involved, the more fucking drama there is. Always. Without fail, dude.
Still, great trip though, right?
Yeah,
Great trip.
There were a few parts, but I know that trip is going to be just remembered for that fucking argument, that fiasco. And it's a bummer, too, because it's Marie's birthday trip, too. It was her birthday. a couple
Oh,
weeks
that's
ago.
right. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, on St. Patty's Day.
You guys should have just went out for St. Patty's Day, like
know,
y'all
man.
did years before.
Yeah, we had the kids, so we couldn't really done that. And Marie had to work. I got invited, my friends... I guess I should shy away from names, but...
What, Face and Aid?
There you go. Yeah, Face and Aid. That works.
Yeah.
Face and Aid, yeah. So Face and Aid invited me, and I had to say no. And I know that they're...
Imagine that, Chester saying no to hanging out with the friends.
Right. I know, and I get grief for that, and I get it, but on that one, it made sense because Marie had to work, and she had the kids on her birthday.
It is her birthday, so I get that.
So-
You get a pass there.
Imagine how much of an asshole I would be to leave her having to work, take care of the kids, and the meanwhile, I go hang out with my 2 girlfriends and go get drunk on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, but hey, man, I mean, you better be there for DA reunion.
Oh, that is...
What is that, May 15th?
May 15th.
That one is concrete, and actually something that is kind of affecting the Cleveland trip, but not majorly. Not majorly. So you, me, and Jeremy are definitely still going, but Marie probably isn't.
Wait,
Okay.
what's this Cleveland trip again?
We're going up to Cleveland in one of the first weekends of May.
I think it was
May 8th.
yeah, it's the weekend before the DA reunion.
Yes. We're going up on a Saturday. We're going to catch the Reds and the Indians, and then that Sunday we're going to catch a Cavs game, and then we're going to come back on Monday. But anyways, a spot is opened up now, so if you're in, I mean, I got a spot
Let's do it.
For what?
to go up to Cleveland.
trip.
Oh,
I know you got a work thing, so that might be...
wait,
a little-
when it would be? When
We
would
would
it?
leave on Saturday, and we'd be back on Monday.
I would have to get back with you on that.
Yeah.
I figured as much. So the whole reason that there's a thing open there is because I didn't realize, and this is my fault for not really looking into it, but that's Mother's Day weekend.
Oh,
And-
yeah, it is, isn't it?
And Marie...
Glad I'm out of that.
It's in the divorce contract. Like, she has the kids on Mother's Day weekend, and he has the kids on Father's Day weekend.
Oh shit.
So he's being cool about it, and he's saying that because that's actually the whole reason I planned it that weekend is because that was supposed to be our kid-free weekend.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have the kids that weekend. So we're gonna have them in back-to-back weekends. So he's gonna take them back-to-back weekends.
So
The DA
without a
reunion,
doubt, you'll be there.
Yes, because I'm gonna have no kids.
And now we need to work this out to where when the DA reunion scatters, we go back to Corns and we fucking...
If you have it,
Well, don't hold me to it, but crickets might have some mushrooms even.
if nothing else, I'll eat the cost, and then just the 3 of us can go up. If you can go, cool. But let me know soon. That way, if not, we can try to find a 4th.
Yeah, because
May 8th?
my
May 8th.
brother might go.
We'd be coming back on Monday?
Yeah, we'd be coming back on Monday.
When Monday?
Early, I would assume. I don't know. Chester would probably be ready to get back to fucking home
Okay.
base.
Alright.
And before we jump off topic to another one, I mentioned to Marie that I might talk about the trip and all that whole shit show. She wanted me to say something on the pod.
Drop it.
Because one of the things that pissed her off so much was that she clapped back at her cousin when her cousin said this shit.
Yeah.
And then her cousin was all like, you know how I am? Like, she did, like, the crutch thing. And then she was like, and I hated how you get defensive whenever I talk to you about stuff. And so she's okay with throwing out her mental illness as a crutch, but when Marie expresses any kind of reverse feelings, it's, oh, well, you're not entitled to your feelings. I'm entitled to my feelings because I have a mental disorder, but you're normal, so fuck your feelings.
It's just like, fuck white people, you know? Fuck them all.
I agree.
Unless you...
Is that a white person thing? Do black people blame shit on crazy?
It's just white people shit.
No, it's just white people being white people.
Black people blame it on the alcohol.
And white people blame it on amphetamines.
Nowadays, it's always, I've got this, so my fucking problems matter more than yours. And
Right.
Can I tell a quick story then after you're done?
Absolutely. You go for it right now, dude, because before I offend people.
No, I felt like a dickhead. No, I probably offended all kinds of people when I tell their story. So I felt like a complete asshole and you know how me. I'll say sorry a million times until and you're the same way. You too. But I was playing poker with some of these group of people at the casino, and dude was not playing exactly what I felt was up to par with the poker game. Every fucking time it was his turn to bet or check, he would ask if it was his turn to the dealer. I had enough, right? To the point where I'm like, almost to the
Like
point
he's
where...
like not paying attention to the game?
Yes, but he's paying attention enough to where he knows what to bet, he knows what to fucking play, he's paying attention to his cards. Any poker player is paying attention to all of it. You know the game, it's your fucking turn.
So do you think that was strategy?
No, because he ended up saying that this is where I felt bad. And maybe it was strategy. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. It's whatever. He got my money, so good for him. He ended up saying it was that he had ADD, and I was like, alright, well... You guys know me, so I was like, I'm sorry for fucking being so hard on you, but dude, if you know poker, I'll be remorse and still apologize, but then like give my example of and my defense of saying that this is why you still shouldn't be that way,
Right.
Where I'm like, okay, you have ADD, I get it, I'm sorry, but dude, you know poker, and it's like every time it sets up, it's either your turn to bet or check, or you should have had money already out there or something, but it's like every time, you're not even looking at your phone, you're not doing other things that are distracting you.
Right.
I could get that as an excuse, but it's like every single time,
Right.
man. Him and even the dealer said, I appreciate you apologizing, and I was like, yeah, you're welcome. But I still ensue the fact that I think that you can be able to critically think logically within your own brain to, simulate each individual moment as it is and go ahead and break it down. It made me go harder at the guy a little bit, maybe, just because I felt he was being a dickhead. But we were joking around with each other all the time, though, like, where he would say, like, stuff like...
Did this dude have Down syndrome?
No, he didn't. He ended up saying his age for some reason, and I was like, God damn it, he's like our age, right? And I'm like, you motherfucker, you're like my age, and what are you, just trolling me, or what's going on? And that's what I thought, you were thinking it was a strategy type shit. But then I was like, alright, maybe not, and I felt bad for the guy, but I was like, also, all of us were cutting the rug. That's what you do in a poker fucking game. You fuck around with each other. Even if you're taking each other's money, it doesn't really matter.
Were you guys playing strip poker?
No, it was poker the casino.
Oh, okay.
Where he was like, so if you like farts, you'll really like this one. I was like, oh yeah, I don't like fucking smell my farts, but I love everybody else to smell my farts. He was like, all right, well, come on over here.
What?
Yeah, I got everybody laughing, just like you guys did, and it was great, because I was like, alright, I raise, and then I'm losing all that money.
How much did you take? Are you a fucking gambling addict?
No, it's not thousands of dollars.
Well, I mean,
it's a couple hundred.
That's a lot for you, dude.
No
That's a
shit.
lot for me.
I know, it's a lot for anybody. That's why I was mad at the guy, because he was being an asshole and not fucking playing the goddamn game. And he was blaming on ADD.
Jeez,
and I'm like, I get it, man, I get it, but dude.
And I get where you want to, like, let people know something like that, but honestly, I have stuff
You
like that.
You think it's playing into me being annoyed by him, and he knows that I'm being annoyed by it.
But I feel like when you get called out on something, the appropriate response is really just to like apologize and
I did.
and do better.
This is the guy that got canceled for a fucking cabin trip.
What?
Him, he got canceled for a cabin trip, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Weren't you just paying attention the last fucking 30 minutes?
How do you get canceled?
Oh, I got fucking chastised.
I don't consider that canceled, but alright. But
God damn it. At least Chester knew what I was fucking
I got
referring.
you. I got you.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just so resistant to these motherfuckers that I hate them all. So
Yeah. I feel like when you're the person that's calling somebody out, you should give them the benefit of the doubt and give them an opportunity to correct themselves. And as the person who's being called out, you should, if you've offended somebody or whatever, apologize and then make an effort to correct the issue and not just go to the blame game. Because when you do that, the next thing you know, everybody's just blaming each other and shit,
Yeah, absolutely.
You blame this, they blame that, you get mad at them, they get mad at you, blah, 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 and it's a bunch of bullshit.
Last weekend we went to Indiana for a bash, and I hung out with, shout out to you, my gay friend. And I was like, my gay friend, let's talk about cancel culture. Like, he's a big canceler like you.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, we sat down. I felt like we had a good conversation. I stated mine and fucking... I don't know if I'm completely off topic now. I've been drinking too much, but, like, we had a nice conversation. So, yeah, whatever.
I don't want to say...
Don't do the blame game. Just
I don't want to
don't be afraid of ever drinking too much. God damn it!
Put your dick away.
Don't worry, you can't see them if it was away.
And don't mind, the Guy Party Etsy line will have the micro edition for Michael Benjamin.
For the penis sheath?
Yeah.
It'll be one of those 3D posters that you're all trying to look at really hard and you can't see anything.
Oh, yeah, the fucking...
Oh my god, is that my funniest joke to date? I think it may
Like the
be.
one with all, like, the little dots?
Yeah.
Little dots add up
One or
to...
two dots?
Little dots add up to satisfactory penis in Russia. Only in Soviet Russia can you get off woman with 3 dots.
I don't want to say that I'm for cancel culture. Like, I think that there should be consequences, but not permanent ones. Like, I don't feel like that chick that got fired from Mando. I'm okay with that, but I don't think her entire career should be over. I feel like she should be able to, like, redeem herself and then maybe come back and possibly go back in to do other roles.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
you can't touch him, just like Tom Brenneman. Like, he had to go to Puerto Rico. Just
Yeah,
really?
he had to go to broadcasting prison to redeem himself.
Dude, nobody will touch him.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, I don't agree with permanent cancellation. I agree with consequences and allowing that person to change their behavior.
I mean, yeah, it's America, and people fuck up. Jesus Christ.
I think most people know that I'm a liberal, but I don't really like hard left liberals. Because the hard left liberals, just like the hard right conservatives, there's a lot of hypocrisy there.
Oh, yeah.
Yup.
Absolutely.
Because the hard left liberals are on the same page as me when it comes to prison, in that I feel like prisons should be viewed more as a correctional facility, like correcting behaviors and getting those people back into society.
Speaking that, you
rather
bring that
than
up.
just throwing somebody into a box.
All right, so we've been doing this pod for 4 years now. Some of our earlier pods, some of the shit we said, dude, we'd be getting canceled. But it's just how much the climate has changed.
I agree, yeah.
I remember one of the first couple episodes, MB was hitting me up, and there was some words that shouldn't have been said. I was like, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. I'm glad I did, because Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, we'd be on a crucifix nowadays.
But
Well,
yeah,
what's funny is I think that even you could be crucifixed. Example, I'm just going to lay it out there. Say I'm bringing up, say, a joke about my dead mom, right? And I provoke that out in the world, and people get offended by it. And then I'm like, wait a second, how are you going to give me a backlash for a thing that's mine? That's mine. That's not yours. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know. I guess if you own it, they're not going to get offended by it, but you're not allowed to like make any ethnic jokes. Or
I know, but you know they do that.
that'd
though.
be kind of weird if he started talking about his dead mom and then transitioned into ethnic jokes.
She's Indian. She's a Indian woman all of a sudden. Did you know that my mama was like this and she did this all the time?
Get ready when we win the Powerball. Guy Party presents Prince, Steel Panther with opener Michael Benjamin and Steve Dale.
Yes. Yes.
The most ridiculous thing to ever hit Florida.
Steve Dale has his middle name is my middle name, which is also my dad's first name.
Autism?
Dale.
Oh, Dale, sorry.
Motherfucker. I swear to God.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh at that. I'm sorry, Michael.
Yeah, dude, Michael, I'm sorry as well.
Don't worry, I'll kill you in your sleep with painless.
All right.
I have no
Symptoms.
doubt.
Do you guys want to get onto the one topic I actually brought?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah, sure.
What do you got for us?
I feel like sometimes with the topics, I drop a topic and it lasts 5 minutes and our ramblings go
Wait.
on for fucking 70.
Before you get into yours, 'cause I feel like yours is better than mine. Can I
Alright.
say mine real quick?
yeah, let's do yours.
It's probably not that great. So, I seen a thing. It was a wine tumbler, right? Mm-hmm. It was really big. It was like what you would think, like, you know how they have those beer tumblers that are like 32 ounces or 40, whatever. They're really large, right? It was a wine tumbler. And to me, it looked more like a thing you would use for like a camping trip or something, right? Because it was all metal. So I'm thinking, I love the love-hate relationship that America has with alcoholism, that we will disguise every kind of like object to hide our alcohol, to get away with it in any convenient situation that we make or fathom.
I'm looking around the room and thinking about that, and I feel like at least like some of these action figures should be hoarding booze.
Should be hoarding booze.
like Brad should be able to go over there and like open up the head of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and just start chugging.
I know, right?
That's my good whiskey.
Yes, yes. And if you guys don't know who the Stay Puft Man is, you should kill yourself.
You like get your Kylo Ren helmet over there and like put a straw in it.
This is liquid acid.
That would be fucking genius if like you started hiding stuff in your figures.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at Yoda over there holding the lightsaber, and I feel like it's pointed down a little bit, so like you could open up his head and pour booze down it, and then it comes out the lightsaber into your mouth.
Do you see that one behind him where
Yeah.
he has the green lightsaber standing up?
Yeah.
That lightsaber was in the stripper's vagina for Tom's bachelor.
Oh yeah.
I had to steal it from my nephew for he didn't fucking, play with it and get a
Do you
disease.
still smell it every now and then?
Oh,
or
absolutely.
does it still have the scent?
It's lost it.
You're not a real stripper if you've not had a Yoda
A lightsaber in your
lightsaber in your pussy.
I agree. I mean, I didn't date girls, but I've had
I
sex
didn't date girls,
with
you
girls. I've had Chewbacca's in their assholes. And
I feel like every girl should at some point or another have a children's toy in their vagina and their asshole.
I agree. Now, since you're engaged now, is that something you say for marriage? To stick the child's toy in the asshole? Or?
I want it in my asshole, but she won't do it.
Wait, you mean to tell me your chick wouldn't peg you with the right toy if you wanted her to?
I can't even get her to get a
that's
finger in there.
racist.
Yeah, you went and looked at gloves too, didn't you?
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I was like, let's make this medical.
Guy party.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hey, can you look at this hemorrhoid? Get a really good look at it.
I got a dildo behind the bed if you want to take it home.
I don't know where that's been.
As I'm looking at all the cum stains on beautiful Brad's fucking Star Wars sheets.
As he grabs a
As he touches it.
I know. I didn't mean to touch it, but it tastes so good.
I fucked a lot of retards in that bed.
Some that shit right into the garbage.
Yeah.
Have you ever found human feces in the garbage, Michael?
Can we not talk about human feces right now? I've had an issue with that thing for a while now.
Are you into it?
Are you not
No,
shitting?
I'm not, I'm not into that, and I'm
I thought
definitely.
you were about to
I'm shitting fine.
You're
No.
a sex addict, but you're a feces addict. Like,
Ew, no way,
No
dude.
judgment, no ew.
I'm not saying there's
Ah, guy
judgment.
party.
I'm just.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah, bro.
That's gonna be one of the rooms at the guy party fetish house.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'll never
The
enter
feces
there.
room.
They're gonna have like super soakers filled with diarrhea.
I remember hearing from Motley Crue, like Ozzy was writing with his own feces, like something on the walls of the hotel.
Ozzy Osbourne, and I feel like this is something that I want to get into in a different episode, but GPHOF.
Yes.
Hall of Fame?
We're doing that for the 100th episode,
Yes.
right? We're going to save that. So, everyone, this is actually our 75th,
Oh, that's right.
but it's only our 64th episode because we've done, like, specials and shit,
Okay.
the P-files and everything.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, we've got a ways away, but we've got something special planned for the 100th episode. Dude, it would be dope to get, like, all the people that have been on Guy Party for the 100th. Or, like, maybe building up to it, like we do, like, starting at 90, we do, like, a special one with each dude and just build up to the 100th, but...
Like
That'd be kinda
Gary
tough.
P.
It would be tough. Get Gary P, Sleazy P, Junkie James... Burns, fucking Party Man.
Yep.
Shit, I mean, there's 5
Cuddly.
there. Cuddly,
All of them.
6, Stephanie, 7, Whack Hammerson, 8.
Are you saying 25, right?
Well, we start at 90 and we build up to...
Oh, 90, okay.
Do we
Sorry.
say
Yeah.
Luke?
Yeah,
Luke, too.
Luke.
Yeah.
Dale?
Steve
Stephen
Dale.
Dale.
So, yeah. And then we get to the 100 and
Your
we got
brother?
the Guy Party Hall of Fame. Yeah, we got Beaver.
Your sister?
Yeah, oh, God.
We gotta get her good and drunk.
She was just here not that long
So-
ago there.
All right, speaking of this, it's a ways off. When we hit 100 and we create the Guy Party Hall of Fame, how often do we do inductees and how many inductees do we do per induction?
Maybe, like, since it's a special, like, 100th episode thing, like, I don't want to say every 100 because
Yeah.
it's taken us, like, fucking 5 years. to
5
get there.
years.
Once a
literally.
year, maybe?
I was going to say, like, every, like, 25 or 50 episodes.
After our 100th, when we create the Guy Party Hall of Fame, every 25 we'll induct some more people. But how many are we going to do in the inaugural?
I think
Inaugural.
5 or 3.
With it being the 100th, I think we should maybe 5.
5 at the most. No more than 5.
But
That's
I mean,
a lot.
100 episodes is a big deal.
Yeah,
Like, at
definitely.
least throw down, like, maybe 10 nominees.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then,
And the 5 that
whittle
made it.
down to 5.
Yeah, or even 3, because then
Yeah.
it'll give us, like, if we do, when we get to 125.
Because, man, that's just going to be so tough to, like, it's the inaugural class.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, you're creating the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And you have to come up with that first fucking class. And you've already had, like, fucking Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. And,
Oh,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like we should get something made for our inductees, too. So, I don't know.
Like a shirt, maybe?
We've got plenty of time
Maybe we
to
should
figure
do,
it out.
like, a celebrity. Maybe we should do categories. Like, celebrity, fictional character, and then real fucking people.
So 3, but it's fictional character, celebrity, and
Somebody we can lay
real.
a jacket on.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Dude, I dig that. Yeah. And then 25, I think we should maybe dip it down. I don't know. We'll think about it when it comes. But I like
If
that.
we
for
want
the
to throw
100th.
some money in on this shit, maybe we could even, like, as far as, like, the real person, like, somebody we want to lay a jacket on them, right? But then, like, I don't know, like, do something epically Guy Party. Like, have them take a shot, a hit of weed, line of coke, and then get a lap dance.
I love that.
Yeah.
And dude, you also threw out about maybe doing that one live, like having a
Oh,
banger.
yeah. I feel like the 100th episode, we should, like, have a party and record it live.
Yeah, I dig that for sure.
All right. I still got a topic if you want to.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
I interrupted with mine.
Michael's topic confused me. Sorry, I'm stealing a fucking lace.
No, do it.
All right.
Well, I was just trying to promote it and go with it.
Michael, you need a beer?
No, I'm good. I just got one.
All right. Thank you, sir. So the COVID vaccine is...
Oh my god, really? Are we talking about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I'm not taking it.
This might not be, like, where you think it's going, but... All right.
I already said I'm not taking it.
So the COVID vaccine
Wait,
is...
no. Are you taking it? Or are you taking it?
I'm definitely taking it. I'm actually, like...
That's enough.
Marie was
Are you
trying
taking
to...
it?
I'm not taking it.
All right, that's all I want to hear. Go on with your next topic.
Marie was trying to schedule it for me earlier because, like, even though it hasn't hit our age group yet, because of my heart issues, I actually am considered
Yeah.
at risk enough to take it.
I understand.
Obviously, there you've probably heard some things about side effects.
I feel like it's killed some people, for sure. Like Hank Aaron. Then there was a few others that took it, too.
My big thing is I've never had the flu vaccine, and I've been fine.
You've never had it once?
Not once.
Really? That's surprising.
But I have my measles and all that shit.
No, yeah, I know. We all were.
And I did get my tetanus shot, like, I don't know, it was 10 years ago, but...
I took the flu vaccine not this past December, but the one before that. Because I was at my doctor anyway, and they were like, "You want a flu vaccine?" And I was like, "Do I really need it?" And they're like, "Do you work in close proximity with people?" And I'm like, "I work in an office. Yeah, I work around a bunch of motherfuckers." And they said, "Yeah, you should probably get it." And I took it. I even asked my doctor, I was like, I haven't had anything to eat today. Is that going to be a problem? And they're like, "Nah." And I took it, and I walked out of the room, and I went to, like, the little desk where you check out, and I started feeling woozy. The lady even, like, looked at me, and she's like, "You should probably sit down." So I sat down on this little bench right next to it, and just fucking passed out. And
Wait, after taking what?
The flu shot. They had to end up, like, giving me, like, a Coke, because, like, my blood sugar, I guess, was low or something.
And that's what I've heard, like, people get fucked up off the flu vaccine, and I've never had it. And knock on fucking wood, I've never had the flu. I'll probably get it. But I've also, my sister and her family got COVID. Somebody else I do a pod with got COVID. She literally sat, like, right across this far away and had COVID and was coughing everywhere, and I didn't get COVID.
So, I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead, but studies have shown that the majority of people who are getting COVID are surviving from it. Anywhere from 76 to 80% people that are surviving it, right?
It's kind of like...
It's the people that are above that are severely obese or obese in some form.
And which the flu kills those kind of people anyway.
Exactly, and that's...
So the whole reason I brought this up wasn't to talk about...
Alright, so it is guy party. Let's not get rogue on that.
Get back on what you were talking about.
Get back on.
Because I didn't want to fucking talk about this. It'd be a
MB.
medical... I wasn't trying to do it! Don't get on me about it!
I brought it up.
I already said I didn't want to do it. I knew I was going to do it, but I'm going to stop talking and go Chester.
The point I'm making is that if you get the COVID vaccine, and hear me out the whole way.
Yeah, I'm listening, just go.
Here. All right. Let's just say that if you get the COVID vaccine, they start to let you do stuff. Like, they start to open up the, like, concerts and shit like that, but only if you can prove that you've had the vaccine.
God damn.
Like, stuff that you really want to do. Like, they start to open up orgies again.
I've already heard this as an argument, though.
What I'm asking, and I guess I should rephrase the question, but what side effects are you okay with to be able to do the shit that you want to do?
None, because you should be able to do those things without these side effects.
I'm going hypothetical.
I know.
He's going Guy Party Universe.
Right. So in the Guy Party universe, we've gone like full on, like, we have to wear like patches around our like fucking sleeves, like back in fucking
Nazi Germany.
Yes. But in this case, it's good patches because it shows that you've had the vaccine.
So-called, quote, good patches. Quote, ungood patches.
The unvaccinated people, do they get the tattoos like the Jews?
No, I think it's just like you have your card
Yes.
to prove that you've... It's almost like showing an ID to get a beard.
So it's like your LSD card in the Guy Party universe. You get this card to continue your LSD use.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that. But yeah, the whole notion there is that by getting the vaccine, you get the card, you get to go to concerts, you get to go to the amusement parks and baseball stadiums, you get to do whatever the fuck you want. Pretty much, you get to live your life pre-COVID. What side effects are worth it?
If I grow a second penis.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
God damn it. And just as I was thinking that you couldn't redeem yourself, he comes up with second penises.
But would that be cool with a chick that doesn't do anal? Because, like, if they're getting erect at the same time...
Could you bend them in the right way?
I'm feeling like it's going to grow out of your gooch, so it has to be anal. I mean, anal only.
Right on.
And I guess depending on your length, like if you're only working with a fucking 5-incher to begin with, if it's got to come out of your gooch, it's only 3 inches, so it's probably just massaging the butthole.
What if it's like an extreme difference? Like, your regular dick is like 5 inches, and your second dick is like 11.
We're gonna have to do some like reverse 69, I guess. Like,
you're fucking her, and your 11-inch dong is just slapping her butt cheeks.
You have to look at her feet while you're fucking her. I'd rather look at titties.
Slow down.
Oh, Michael, I'm sorry.
What you guys are going too fast for me, man. I can't keep up with all the dick meteorologists.
All right, what you got?
You're saying that the dick is 11 and 6 inches. So the second dick, though, is coming below the first dick, right?
In his scenario.
Yeah, my mutation.
The first dick is going in the anal.
Not all mutations are created equal.
Yeah, I understand that. That's what I'm saying, though. That, like, I'm trying to form a balanced system here that, like, says that the first dick is above the second dick.
Oh, that 11-inch dick would just drop right in the toilet.
No, not exactly.
Yeah, it would. It's 11 inches and it's in your gooch.
Yeah,
It'd go
dude.
right in the water.
No, it's in her pussy.
Yeah.
It's in her pussy.
But when you go to take a shit,
You're taking temperatures with that fucking thing.
Yeah. Why'd you have to bring that up? Shit.
Because that's what we started with, motherfucker.
I didn't want to think about
possibilities.
pooping in my second dick, fucking getting in goddamn poo.
You just down there stirring up a concoction. Like, I'm making spells with my fucking...
you like splatter diarrhea and you just get it all over your fucking cock.
Nope, nothing to do with this besides stir it around.
Can you imagine that? Like, also, like, if you're taking a shit, you gotta, if you're wiping from the front, you gotta pull your dick out.
Visualizing Brad doing it as he's fucking doing it.
Maybe they come up with like rubber bands so you can pull the thing up and like
just like
off.
take it to the side and just like get in there and scrub away.
That's a new niche market right there. Shark Tank.
Guy party.
Ball sack holders.
Yeah, we gotta
or
get you on
dick
Shark
holder.
Tank.
Second, third dick holder.
I feel like that's our skit. Fucking Michael Benjamin pitching fucking weird shit to Shark Tank.
That's our second skit. 2 dick fucking holders.
But that's like
2 dick holders.
I feel like besides the toilet complications, I feel like a second dick is like good thing. So like what negative shit are you okay with? Like
shit.
are you okay with like your pee turns into like small pellets?
Wait, what?
Kidney
That would. I feel like that would hurt.
Not that bad, but like small, like really small BBs that it hurts a little bit, but like
No bueno, man. I don't want little BBs coming out of my pecker.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this, man.
Alright.
To be honest, like, what are you doing
a
to
side
us?
effect is you can't get drunk
Why would you do that?
for 60 days.
What are you doing? What, you're ruining life at all?
Hey, I already said earlier in my woke moment, I don't need this shit.
Well, you can still get high. And you still get to go to concerts and shit.
See, I'm a lover of the booze.
Yeah,
but
me
I mean,
too.
it is only 60 days.
But
Wait.
you can drink the booze still and it still tastes the same, you just don't get fucked up.
Yeah, but I love the fucked up
I
part
know,
of
me
it.
too.
You don't drink the booze just for the taste of it.
Yeah, I like a beer here and there, but man, it's.
But you can still do drugs, all the drugs.
Wait, any drug?
Any drug.
Well, then yeah.
I do need a fucking good mental cleanse. I do need a good journey here this summer.
He says a good mental.
I haven't had a good trip in a while.
No, I know. I'm talking about like any drug at all.
I mean, if you can still get high, fucking yeah, sure, 60 days. Yeah, but yeah.
He's saying you can do any drug though, besides alcohol. Basically, that's all it is.
All right, I'm going to throw a bonus good symptom.
You will no longer get HIV.
Sure.
No.
Okay.
No. Who cares about that? It's herpes that everyone's worried about.
The coronavirus also protects you from fucking HIV. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you can trick girls into fucking you with HIV, but herpes, there's bumps down low.
Jesus Christ. That is true. I hate it. Have you guys ever taken an STD test?
Viagra.
They say, have you? They say that like they'll give you these recommendations from your doctors, like you should take a Hep C test and all these whatever tests before so many
they
years.
just look at you and say that you should.
No, dude, it's on there. Well, I mean, if
Your head looks like a herpes.
thought that they would look at me like that, you would think otherwise that I'm dead. Not that I should take a test.
Yeah, that's true. They don't look at you and be like, this guy gets laid a lot.
Remember when Brad's sister was here and she was like, "Hey, is he alive right now?" Look at
She asked about you the other day. She's
if
like,
I was still alive.
"Yeah, is that dude like fucking mummified in your basement yet?"
And that's what I'm saying, though. Like
But she also says like, "I bet he has a small penis."
Jesus. Yeah, because she wouldn't believe me. She wouldn't believe me. Every time I kept on saying it, she's like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" No, bitch. I'm fucking joking. I don't have a small dick. I'll get you off in 2 seconds.
Michael Benjamin, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess the whole point of what I brought up was like, what are you willing to sacrifice or take as like penance to get back to your normal life?
How about you lead us?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? I'm asking you that question.
No, I know, and obviously you're not getting nowhere with me. So how about you tell us what are you willing to sacrifice to get back to normal?
I like just asking the questions and see what you guys come up with.
Yeah, well, obviously
All right.
it's going
All
nowhere.
right. You lose 10% of your penis size.
I'm not working with much to begin with, so I can't afford that.
What's the difference then? What's the you lose that and then versus what?
You get to like get the COVID vaccine, and it causes your dick to shrink by 10%. But you get to go out. You get the armband or the ID
Dude,
that lets you go to places.
I'm already going out.
Yeah,
the restrictions are already being lifted.
He's already using micro.
In Indiana, the mandates have already been
What are you working with? Could you afford 10% lossage?
No. Honestly, like, I'm the kind of person, if I had a big one, you'd know it.
Same here. If I had a big one, you'd see it at every fucking party.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have pulled that shit out by now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'd like stand up and plop it on the table, like, remember, boys.
I put it in Michael's face. Alpha this motherfucker.
Like, I'd be at, like, the stadium, like, at a Reds game, and they'd get the Jumbotron on me, and I just fucking pull my dick out.
Yeah, they hit it, and then you just stand up, and a dick comes out.
That's funny, and I would chop.
Guy party.
Oh, the Guy Party universe is... I want to live in that fucking universe.
I do, man. Dude, we're totally building, like, GP Town. I need to get Jeremy to listen to all the fucking pods and just draw out Guy Party Town.
Do like a comic or something.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Alright, so what if it gave you superpowers? I feel like we've talked about superpowers before, so maybe we don't want to jump on that.
I'm just, like 3 hits of DMT away from getting superpowers.
Can you get
I think you
DMT?
already have.
Maybe.
Have you had it?
No, I wish I had.
Oh.
I have someone that I'm trying to get in lieu of. We'll see.
Don't you feel like acid already gives you some superpowers, though?
Sometimes, dude, I told you
Like,
about that
you get to
fucking time.
communicate with nature in some cases, and I don't know how y'all feel, but, like, I see that kind of grid, like the lines.
Yep.
I started off thinking about simulation theory as a joke, but I believe it more and more every day, that we're all living in a simulation.
Do you get any of it from the gummies at all?
Sometimes, yeah. When we were in Gatlinburg, I accidentally took way too much gummies. Mm-hmm. Well, edibles, like...
Which is too... Not
Yeah,
ever,
edibles.
Which is not real.
'Cause
There is no too much.
We had this chocolate bar, right?
Yeah.
And, like, every piece... I didn't know this. Every piece was 10 milligrams. I thought every piece was, like, 2 milligrams. So I took, like, 2 or 3 of those pieces and, like, a 10 milligram gummy. So I was probably going off of, like, 30 or 40 milligrams.
Yeah, everybody
So-
should probably do double that, actually.
80 milligrams is fucking retarded. You would go coma.
You're right, you should do 1,000. You should do 1,000. 1,000.
I did 60 milligrams.
Did you?
Dude, I slept for 18 hours.
Yeah.
But, dude, I was having acid dreams.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever fallen asleep on acid? I have a few times.
He has. I know he has.
I don't think I fell
You
asleep,
don't
though.
really fall asleep.
You don't fall asleep.
But you're awake.
It's like you close your eyes and you just kind of jerk.
Yeah.
I'm still interacting
yeah.
with you guys, though.
You're-
I was still
right.
interacting with you guys.
I knew what was going on. I would wake up and there would be like an aura, and I'm just like,
Right.
Yeah, this is off gummies, by the way.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and
Yeah, so, like, I did that, and then I remember, like, we were on kind of a hill, and I walked down to the bottom of the hill, and there was a little stream or something. Like, it might have just been a ditch. I don't know. It was running water.
at the
It's the
last
point.
camping trip,
Yes.
that was awesome.
Dude,
Right.
that was the best.
We would go down there in pitch black and
Right.
lay down. It was fucking great. Yeah,
And that's what happened to me this time. Is like kept my vision in one focused area. Like I didn't move my head at all. Just focused on like the sky or the trees or whatever,
Yeah.
and just listened to the sound of the running water, and got fucking lost.
yes,
Dude, it's amazing.
dude.
It's the best.
I don't know
Absolutely.
why, but I just feel like I
It's-
need to say I love you guys, and that's amazing, and it's
We love
all
you, man.
great.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
It's good to have you back.
That's the essential of what you need to do is just
But-
like chill out and relax.
That's what makes me think about simulation theory, is that it's like these chemicals, these drugs are able to like let you leave your host for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And dude, and if you've never done it, there's no way for you to really believe it unless you've done it. You literally leave your fucking being.
Right.
Dude, because I've sat in like Bing Bong's basement, lights were out, there's just candles, and I swear to God I was fucking time warping.
Right.
I swear on everything. I left my body and I was in a different galaxy, dude. It was fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Like, and that's what makes me really like cynically believe about simulation theory. But it's like 50%. I feel like at first it was like ha ha ha. Yeah, there's a grid there. We're in the Matrix. But like the more and more I trip and shit, it's like God. It seems like it really is a fucking Matrix. Like
Something's waking it up.
when you're really high or tripping and you go to lay down where you feel like you start to dream, but you can manipulate it really well. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
When you can manipulate your trip, that's the fucking best.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah, I mean,
especially the dreams
that's what you want to
have.
achieve.
I've had panic attacks for getting ripped out of like dark areas.
Have you?
Well, it's usually because like I'd be dark and I would be galaxy skipping.
Sure.
Yeah.
Believe it, because you guys have been there. You know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden, like a crowd of motherfuckers be like, "Oh, let's party," which you don't party on hallucinogens.
No.
And the older I've gotten,
See,
I started to
feel
realize
like
that.
you've said that before, like, but I've said before that when you're tripping, I like a peace and quiet almost.
So do I.
But at the
Oh,
same
yeah.
time, you said you like, because we were talking about that before at Luke's, where he had that loud music and the lights and shit going on.
I like that.
So which one do you prefer?
I like that, but I also like fucking being peaceful.
Okay.
Because this is also the one I'm talking about, like being at Luke's. I took a chair, I sat out in his woods, I got lost for 2 hours.
Right.
But then I had a party rip me out of it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I had a panic attack.
Yeah.
See, like when we were tripping at Luke's that one time, I was trying to like to get that kind of quiet. Honestly, I feel like my best tripping ever was at the cabin in Hocking Hills and
That
that
was
street.
fun. That was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
It really was.
And I feel like I've always been trying to recreate that, and I was trying to do that at Luke's that night. But like every time I tried, it was like the party kept bringing me back in. You know what I mean? I guess you can kind of do both.
I like both, but it just depends on my mood, really. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I like...
I guess
There's been times where me and you and Luke would trip, just the three of us, and we'd sit down there watching them YouTube videos.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, just sitting down there and watching TV. That's another part of tripping too, especially when you watch videos, because the trip, like the high, alters your perception of time. That's where you start to feel like you're going through like multiple journeys and stuff like that.
Well, I honestly think the light deprivation really fucking tunes it up, dude.
I want to do the
Sensory deprivation.
Yes.
tank?
Sensory,
yes,
that's what
yes.
I meant.
That's what.
I didn't
I
mean
fucking just read your mind.
Well, we all knew it. I was.
Yeah,
we were all were
sensory
thinking the same thing
deprivation.
because a friend of mine just told me the other day about in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, in the Zen Zone. They do these cool sensory deprivation tanks, and it's really relaxing. You go in there for either 60 or 90 minutes,
Sure.
and I want to go in there so bad.
To do it on acid or
Oh, I want to do it. It doesn't matter.
Fucking
That's what I'm saying.
edibles.
I'm gonna gain superpowers
edibles.
either way.
I'm telling you, dude, I've done it. It wasn't complete sensory deprivation. Dude, when I was in Luke's Woods, and it was pretty pitch black. He's got 8 acres, and it was wild. Next time we fucking drop, let's just do it in a calm atmosphere and just do some, like, sensory deprivation.
hell yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yes.
They say that every 24 hours of complete blackness, if you're living in complete blackness, whatever you want to call it, your DMT will in your brain will naturally release itself every 24 hours.
So that's probably...
If you do it 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row, you will hallucinate to the maximum. So if you do it 24 hours sake, I mean living in complete darkness, nothing at all. You're eating, you're breathing, all darkness for 24 hours. These studies have shown that it'll be happening.
Absolutely. No, I absolutely believe that. But I feel like the darkness, you don't have the distractions like the party aspect of the acid that kind of keeps you are...
So your brain's creating something.
You're turned off.
Your brain wants to be lazy as fuck or create something. It's either one or the other. And then once you start creating, it doesn't stop.
That's when you get the most woke, is when you have no distractions.
I feel like, when you can focus on something.
Yes.
Like, even, like, just, like, focusing on trees. Like, the movement of trees and stuff like that. Or the sound of running water.
Just something to concentrate on.
Yeah, just something to focus on and let your... That's when you start kind of almost... You float away.
Yeah, and it's a hypnotic sound. It's not like listening...
Right. Like a changing melody and stuff like that.
It's just hypnotic, constant fucking...
Right.
Wait, I have a question for both of you guys then. With all this talk about that, people who done DMT, and they say that there's these beings or these spiritual guides.
I've heard a lot about aliens on DMT. I don't think any of us have done it, but...
We haven't, but it's a very tight-knit group of people who say that they've experienced these beings that come to them. Mm-hmm. It's very popular. It's not something that's just like the minority of the group of DMT exposers.
Joe Rogan is a big proponent of it.
Yeah, and everyone sees these beings of some sort. So, I guess my question is to both of you guys. Me, myself, I don't think, even if I did DMT completely to its... They say that the hardest part is getting to do the 3 hits. That doing 3 hits is, like, really hard to do on DMT. I think it would be hard, yeah, but I'm not going to let myself get absorbed in the idea that just because I've done these 3 hits and I'm hallucinating in my own brain, right, that these beings are subjecting me to something that's different than what I really know as the truth.
The DMT entities?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I feel that I wouldn't change my mind about the actual efficacy of the universe, as in to say that these beings are coming to me to teach me something. As much as I badly want to believe in that idea, I do not think that even after doing DMT to the full most mode of doing it like whatever 3 times or whatever and doing 3 hits each fucking time, you're supposed to be crossing over, right, to the different reality to expand your mind and your spirituality and all that, you know. But I just don't think, in my own mind, even if all that happened, I would still bring it down to the denoted portion of, like, my brain is hallucinating with the chemical reactions that are going on with the drugs that I'm inhaling.
I understand what you're saying, and I completely agree with that as well. There's something about hallucinogens that have made my thought process change my fucking way of living life. It changed me for the better. I don't know. It's something that really shook me and woke me.
Oh, no, I agree,
and
for sure.
I've never done DMT, so I don't want to, like, hypothesize, but what if... I'm going to hypothesize. What if that being that you're seeing is like you leaving your body? You're leaving your body, and then you're seeing your body. So the being that you're seeing is actually you.
Yeah. So I was just talking about this before I came here, about being the ultimate observer, right? And say you see everything in a 360 point of view, but yourself in the full 360 view, that you cannot see, that people will claim to be, that God says this or God does that. But let's just think of it as a perspective that you are your own God and everybody is their own God. And that you're visualizing and observing all things and all perspectives through your own 360 perspective and making an actualization. Okay. So then, but you don't know yourself from a 360 personalization because you can't see that because you're not without yourself. Like you just said that you're having an outer body experience.
Right.
You have to have the outer body experience to visualize yourself.
Right.
To know yourself better.
Can I throw this out here? All right. So
do it.
I was an atheist until I fucking dropped acid. And now I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in what everything's fucking taught to us. But I believe in my fucking years of dropping acid and doing hallucinogens that there is an energy. I felt it.
An energy.
I felt it through the trees, the grass, the animals, everything. There is an energy. There is not a Jesus. There's not a God per se. But there's an energy. Okay, so with that being said, you've died.
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah, I mean,
right,
it's hard, but yeah.
So
I don't remember any of it.
Nothing.
You're not gonna remember it. You're not supposed to. It's a reset.
A reset, okay.
That's fun.
Now,
Yeah,
from your trips with you died, is there energy?
I told you, simulation theory
Simulation.
is where I'm at. But, you know what? Simulation theory can actually tie pretty closely into religion, because the whole idea is that with religion, you die and then you go see your maker, right?
Yeah.
With simulation theory, you expire and then you go to the next level and you see the creator of the simulation. Why isn't the creator of the simulation, how is that not the same as God? I mean, God created this world, he created a simulation. I mean, they're kind of hand in hand.
Do you think aliens created us to where they
I don't know that it's
put us in
aliens.
a simulation?
I don't know that it's aliens. I think we may be aliens. I don't know that when we go out of the simulation that we're not in a different form than when we
a
currently
futuristic version of ourselves, I think.
Possibly, yeah. You're absolutely right. And actually, I kind of thought about something with that. So, like, let's just say that you die. And it's funny you mentioned the die thing, because I was going to ask you this anyways, about death. So when you die, right, and your consciousness leaves your body and goes on to the next level. And let's just say that the first thing you see is another, I don't even want to call it human, but a representation of human. Like, so you see something in a human form. My assumption is that it's there as a comforting kind of a thing.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. That it's there to represent to you that it's okay to be here.
Right. So, because otherwise you might freak the fuck out.
Yes.
But what is the human figure that you see?
It's whatever is recommended to you by your own you.
Mine is Stan Lee.
Mine's Chris Farley.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, to heaven or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta be weird and say I guess it's my mom.
George Carlin, but yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Carlin and my mom are holding hands, welcoming me there.
Yeah.
Mine should be my grandma, but it's Stan Lee, because I love that dude.
Mine should be my grandma, too. Or maybe Patches. I don't know, there's so many.
I don't know, like that Stan Lee calming voice. Like, have you ever listened to him talk? He just sounds like, like the coolest grandpa ever.
Yeah.
He's just reading you, like, your favorite comic.
He's like, welcome to heaven, true believer. I'm
Excalibur!
I'm like, fucking
You've reached the Excalibur region.
like, yes, I have. Like, thank you, Stan Lee. But then it turns into some like mutant thing, and it's like, I'm not really Stan Lee, I'm a mutant.
Well, that's why I always loved the movie with Robin Williams in it about
What dreams may come.
yes, what dreams may come, because
That was alright.
well,
Really?
I mean,
Oh, it's so trippy. Watch it again.
Yeah, a lot
Watch
of
it
people
again.
loved
I just
it.
feel like the way that once again it's about portraying whatever you portray it to be in the afterlife.
There's a part in hell where he's stepping on heads.
I feel like everyone's got their own beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But can we all agree hallucinogens have made us
More woke?
realize there's more to our fucking flesh bodies? maybe?
Definitely.
I think that's really the more appropriate way to say woke. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like people use the word woke to like express like how people are to social issues. I would prefer to use the word woke to express how people
Spirituality.
spiritual issues.
I would too.
Well,
yeah.
so as much as I don't want to be against either one of you, but
but you have to.
But you will.
like, okay, I love the idea. Like, I used to be very hardcore, quote, spirituality or whatever.
But we're not talking about Jesus, Mother.
No,
Mary.
I know you're not. But you're talking about.
We're talking about next level.
I know what you're. So I still feel though with the quote spiritual part of it all, it's pushing the boundary that we haven't actually confirmed yet. Though, still, I feel it's enough to say.
And I feel like we will never confirm until we're dead.
That's true.
I agree.
That's never gonna happen.
I agree, and that's why it's so hard for me to kill myself. But
Well, I've got a knife over there.
the feelings that we feel every day, every week, every year that we go on, I feel like those are our true truths.
What do we call when he goes on these rants if we want to use woke as spirituality? Do we just call them rambles?
Wokenisms?
MB rambles or
Wokeisms.
wokeisms? I don't feel like we should classify that with spirituality.
I do prefer woke to be connected to spirituality, but
I
at
do
the
too,
same time,
but it's hard for me to grasp it.
culturally it is connected to.
No, I like that culturally part. Because the cultural...
He's culturally fucking awakened.
It's guy party culture.
Guy party's getting awakened.
Guy party culture.
Booze heads, if you guys haven't dropped yet, hopefully we can
At the very least,
drop with you all.
My introduction was definitely into mushrooms, which actually is a pretty good introduction.
That was a fun fucking night.
That was a fun night. I remember seeing him plaid.
This is the first time we ever dosed Chester out. Chester, I don't think you've ever ate mushroom. Well, yeah, you said it was your first fucking night.
Yeah.
So we're
Because you had tried to get me to do it a bunch of times, and I was all like hesitant about it. And I'm like, no, those are hard drugs. I don't do hard drugs.
Yeah.
But then, like, fast forward to like 3 years later, I'm doing meth.
Yeah.
But
So we start at the lake. It's a local dive bar over in Guy Party territory. There's a bunch of us, but there's only 4 of us that go back to our buddy Corn's house.
right, the old corn complex.
The old one, yeah.
old one. And we stopped off at those ghetto-ass apartments.
We picked up a bag of mushrooms.
Yeah.
I think it was a half ounce of mushrooms, and then we all divvied them up. I remember you spent half the night in the fucking bathroom because Corn was trying to rape you. I kept coming to check on you because I knew it was your first time. And I knock on the door, and you'd be like, "Is he there? Is he there?" I'm like, "No, it's good. You let me in. I want to see how you're doing." And you're looking up, and you're just looking. It's like, look at the lights, man.
I remember, like, actually, like, touching a light bulb. And you know how when you touch a light bulb, it's supposed to be hot? It wasn't. I was just it was lit, too.
Yeah.
It was, like, on. And I was just holding this thing and staring at it. And it was beautiful to me. I do remember being in the bathroom and I would turn out the lights and I would just, like, start seeing in plaid. Like, you remember, like, Spaceballs when they go to plaid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. And then I remember we were sitting on his couch, and remember in his living room he had that big window that opened up to the front yard?
Yep.
I remember looking out there, and the window was like a television, and I was seeing in 3D, and the yard was like the 3D. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain if you've ever done any hallucinogens, you probably know what the fuck I'm talking about. You get this almost tunnel vision. If you've ever, like, been tripping or whatever and you look down a corridor, a long one at that.
Yeah.
Like, I've even looked down a street and, like, you almost get binocular vision.
Yeah.
You can focus on very small details very far away. And I was getting that. And then we ate fishes.
Yeah, I remember our buddy Corn. That was the first time he ever tripped too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we popped you guys' cherry 2 years
Right on.
that night.
And it took me a while to jump on the acid band trip.
Wagon.
Thank you. After that.
Do you remember the first time we got you to fucking dose?
Do acid?
Yeah.
It was at your house, I think, and I feel like I started on liquid, which is fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up. It's like, here, let's just get you right into it.
Right. Like, for anybody who's done acid, most of the time, you go with the paper.
Yeah,
Like, almost all the time.
Hey.
I've never done liquid, except for my first fucking time.
Liquid will fuck you up.
Oh my god, yes. I don't even remember anything. From
Yeah.
that. It was too fucked up.
I just know we did it a lot that summer because dude had a whole contact case full of liquid acid.
Yeah.
We'd give him $10, but he'd probably end up dosing us $60. You know,
Right,
Just
right.
like,
It's like when we just like sit there and like duck and like, hi,
yeah,
feed me, daddy.
yeah. Next thing you know, you're like,
Can we go back in time so I can experience that?
It was magical.
I got a buddy that loves tripping, and he swears if there's liquid acid that comes back through, he's got like fucking $1,500. He'll buy it immediately, and I swear by it, it's worth every fucking dime, dude.
It was that night, or maybe the second or third trip I ever had, where like I woke up in the morning, I was still rolling really fucking good,
Yeah,
and then I went back to my place in Bellevue, and then just walked over to Sawyer Point. And watched a bum taking a shower.
Yeah, those were like the 16-hour trips.
Yes.
Like the paper shit we recently had, it was like, it was about an 8 to 10, but yeah, that liquid shit, you would literally be frying for 2 days.
Right. And I feel like with the paper stuff, do you remember that white stuff? That stuff that didn't have any markings on it whatsoever?
Yeah.
That shit was fucking crazy because it was like you hit a peak real early. I don't know if y'all tripped before, but when you trip, it usually takes sometimes an hour, even 2 to kick in.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, that shit would kick in like fucking 15 minutes.
Jesus.
And then it's like a roller coaster where
Just real quick.
where you just like it's all the way up and then it stays there and then it's just like real valleys.
Yeah,
Where you just like you're normal for like hour at a time and then it just goes right back up to like the peak. It's very, very peak and valley.
Every acid batch I've ever had,
it's different.
it's not created equal.
No.
It really is. It's all different.
Yeah, I mean these people, whoever are making it, I'm guessing they're not MIT.
Yeah.
They're fucking in some like shitty laboratory, God knows where.
I've had paper lay me out for 16, and I've had paper only do me for 6.
Right. We had those mushrooms one time that didn't do jack shit.
Yeah, which was fucked up, because mushrooms are usually a guarantee.
I don't know, man. But our point at the end of the day, the hallucinogens.
Do hallucinogens, man. You will
And
not
it-
be disappointed.
And if you haven't hook up with DMT, I mean, obviously through legal channels, use codes.
Have you guys ever watched the movie Midsummer?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Midsommar,
Yeah,
that
it's,
shit
it's
is
fucking fucked up,
crazy.
dude.
Yeah, I don't
That
know,
honestly,
like-
Midsommar is probably the best representation of tripping that I've ever seen. and
No, but could you imagine being that chick though at the end?
But, I mean...
What do you mean? The
I
dude
mean,
died.
When they show them tripping on, like, shrooms or whatever. Like, I feel like that's one of the best representations of a trip that I've seen.
Yeah, she was tripping.
On film.
She and him were tripping, though.
But, I mean, more often than not, and I know I was, like, kind of victim to this, tripping in movies and television is represented incorrectly. It's like you're fucking seeing, like, pink dragons and shit.
Yeah, it's absolutely misinterpreted, yeah.
I like the scene where he was fucking that girl and all the naked chicks were around him, like, chanting and shit. You remember that?
You would like that.
It was a wild fucking movie.
It's a good movie. It's a good horror flick. But anyways, trip. Take
Booze
trips.
heads, if you haven't tripped, trip.
I know we're booze heads, but trip head. Or honestly, I think I was about to make this point earlier, but the proper introduction into, I feel like, tripping would probably be edibles.
I agree. We never had that
I
available. I started with mushrooms, and
I started with mushrooms, right.
the first time I ever dosed out with mushrooms was at a Memorial Day party where everyone was extremely drunk, and I had a bad trip.
That sucks. No, knock on wood, I can't say I've ever had a bad trip. I'm capable of just rolling with it.
Mine's usually the intensity of the people I'm around.
And that's fair.
Outside of that, if you're in a good environment, tripping is fucking amazing. It's worth every bit of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 100% agree.
Yeah.
You just gotta buy into it. I mean...
Don't let yourself get yourself.
I recently went to Vegas with somebody and they ate some edibles, and he said, and it reminded me of Trip, and he's like, I was trying to control it and I didn't enjoy the high, and it reminded me of some of the first times I was tripping where I was trying to fight it, where honestly you just embrace the trip, let it take you over, man.
Yeah.
And you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't fight it. It's an amazing thing. And hopefully they start legalizing it places. At least, I mean, acid never will be, but mushrooms might be.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully in our
lifetime. They've already been doing it, and with the psilocybin in California,
they've been legalizing it. They've been
decriminalizing it. Yes,
but I mean that was kind of the first steps with marijuana.
Yes, I mean decriminalize it and let's get mushroom candy bars. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I will make several 4-hour drives, 8 in total, to eat mushroom bars.
It'll happen here soon enough.
Alright, so I guess we're going to wrap this bitch up. Any of you guys got any final thoughts on anything before we call this?
I don't know, this has kind of been an all over the place pod. But
hey, but that's Sky Party.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good seeing you all. We got MB back on, finally. It's good having the fucking
crew back
together. Fuck the haters, trip balls.
Fuck the haters, trip balls, yes.
Fuck the haters, trip balls.
I think I might have done it earlier. I'm going to send a shout out to my homeboy, Mr. Burns, and my gay friend. Love you guys. It was fun Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Party Man?
Party Man.
May 15th, Ethel's Tavern. Everyone come out, hang out. Guy Party will be there.
Guy Party will be there, but let's remember that we're honoring the DA. The predecessor of Guy Party.
It's a Drunken Army bash, but we'd love to have the booze heads out too.
If you can imagine how fucked up we get now in our 30s, imagine how retarded we got when we were in our 20s. But don't you wish we would have had fucking like trips and stuff like that in our 20s? I wish I would have.
I know, dude. Oh my god.
I know. I feel like I shafted, you know?
Yeah.
Same here. I'm like, why did I wait till my 30s?
You know what I blame? I blame Ronald Reagan.
I do too. Alright, on that note, everyone check us out. We got a TikTok channel going. We've got the Instagram. Hope to see you guys on May 15th at Ethel's Tavern. We've got Facebook. Check out Michael Benjamin's 5 minutes of Michael Benjamin coming soon.
Yeah.
And until the next episode.
Let's do it.
Guy Party!